The U.S Mexico border has long been the center of America's immigration crisis, but authorities are now warning about an alarming shift. Mexican cartels are expanding their operation northwards, exploiting vulnerabilities at the U.S Canada border. And according to one smuggler working for the infamous Sinaloa Cartel, no amount of security will stop them. He told this to an undercover agent from the New York City that we always find a way. He said that it doesn't matter what the US does, we adapt. The smuggler, who claims to have held more than thousands of migrants into the United States, work as a part of a sophisticated network that transports people from Latin America through Canada and then into the US by passing the heavily patrolled southern border. But it's not just his words that are really chilling. Recent tragedies underscores just how far the cartel's reach extends and how deadly their methods can be. While cartel smugglers shift their strategies to the north, their brutality remains the same. In a heartbreaking case just weeks ago, Sheriff Tom Alvarez and his deputies arrived at an abandoned trailer in the Arizona desert. What they saw there was shocking. 30 migrants had been locked inside, left to die under scorching heat. Officers forced open the rusted doors, releasing an overpowering wave of heat and the stench of sweat and fear. Inside it, there were bodies, all together, some barely conscious, others too weak to move. In fact, a deputy reported that 3 didn't make a move. The heat, it was too much. In fact, when a mother came out of a van, her hands were wrapped around her child. Unfortunately, she lost the child. Others were desperate for water. Their skin burned from dehydration. After that, the medical help rushed in, treating the survivors for severe heat stroke, exhaustion, and organ failure. These migrants had each paid thousands of dollars to cartel smugglers who had promised them safe passage. Instead, they had been abandoned, and that too what looks like a metal coffin. For cartels like Sinaloa, human smuggling is a big business, an industry worth billions. What was once a side operation has now become a primary revenue stream, surpassing even drug trafficking in some areas. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Mexican cartels and other smuggling networks made an estimated $13 billion in 2022 from human trafficking alone, a drastic increase from just $500 million in 2018. Smugglers charge migrants anywhere about $5,000 to $15,000 per person for a journey, offering different packages depending on how much they can actually pay. Some fly into Canada legally before being smuggled across the northern border. Others take the riskier and often deadlier route, and that is the desert route. In fact, in one of the interactions, Sheriff Alvarez said that they see these people as cargoes and nothing more. To them, it's about profile. If a few don't make it, it's just the cost of doing the business. With the increased surveillance at the southern border, cartels are now moving to the north. They began moving operations north, exploiting gaps in security along with 5,525-mile U.S Canada border, that is the longest undefended border in the world. Recent CBP data reveals that 500% increase in migrant crossing from Canada into the US over the past 2 years, particularly in states like New York, Vermont, and etc. Many of these migrants are not Mexican or Central American, but from countries like India, China, and Middle East, flying into Canada under more lenient visa policies before being smuggled south. The Sinaloa Cartel is heavily involved in these northern smuggling operations, working with local criminal groups just to transport people across remote forest trails, icy rivers, and hidden roads. The smuggler said that we have people everywhere. Mexico, Canada, America, it's all connected. You shut one door, we open another. Scary, right? Well, as US authorities continue their fight against illegal crossing, the battle against cartels remains an uphill struggle. Every time one route is shut down, another emerges. As long as desperate people are willing to risk everything for just one chance to a better life, smugglers will be there, ready to exploit them for a prize. In fact, for Sheriff and everybody out there, the Arizona Desert Rescue was just another grim reminder of how high the stakes are. As he watched survivors being loaded onto ambulances, his thoughts were already on the next truck, the next group of migrants, the next deadly journey. Because if there's one thing that he knows for certain is this: the cartels are always one step ahead, and for them, business is booming.